What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Church Nerds Podcast. I am your host, Jay Baldwin, and of course, I got the crew on with me. We got the technician, Norman Heath. We got Pastor Brian Evans, the Dr. Gabe Jordan, and Batman, Bible Man, Brandon Travis. We want to welcome you to the Church Nerds.
Batman, Bible Man.
Always got to do the most. Always got to do the most.
You got two identities, bro. You know what I'm saying? You either Bible Man.
Technically, I got
Sunday,
one
Bible Man, Jay.
On Sunday, Bible Man, and then at nighttime throughout the week, he's Batman.
So none of y'all are Bible Man either. Y'all don't like the Bible. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, we're just saying that you are Bible Man.
Yeah, you are Bible Man. You literally fight with the Word of God. You go out there smacking people with paper Bibles.
Mm-hmm.
Just a stack of Bibles.
Receive you the Word of God.
He's going to be fighting crime in Indy, right?
I heard that. Yep. Next week, Sunday, he will be fighting crime in Kokomo.
That's right.
Yeah.
Crime in Kokomo.
Fighting all sin.
You're anywhere near.
Yep. If you're anywhere near Kokomo and you want to meet Bible Man in person, visit us on Union Street. He'll be there in person.
I'm screaming. Listen, be a part of the Church Nerd congregation. Be a certified church nerd. And of course, we got Auntie Delphine in the chat. We got Sister Deetra Jefferson on YouTube watching with us. Okay, Sister Kim
All the way
Smith.
from Georgia. Yeah.
Georgia.
All right, from Georgia.
Georgia.
Oh boy.
Apparently, she wants to know where's your ball at, Happy Jay. What does that mean, Jay?
Where's your
ball, Happy Jay?
Happy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your ball cat. There we go. That's what she meant.
Your ball. Oh, you're the only one else.
Yeah. You do know where the ball cat.
Actually, I think it's downstairs. I haven't worn my cap in a minute. I'll wear it next week. I don't feel like running downstairs to grab it.
Let it breathe. Let it breathe.
Yeah,
let it breathe. Okay.
that doesn't sound very gospelish there, Brandon.
It is. Let it breathe.
Let it breathe.
Yeah.
Let what breathe?
Yeah. What's happening? What kind of breathing is happening, sir?
Okay, never mind.
We got a guest today, guys.
Anyway, we have a guest tonight. We have a guest
him
tonight.
called Let It Breathe, man.
No, what are we
You're
doing?
the one singing the song.
What are we doing?
Listen, we have a good episode tonight, man. We have the Brotherhood episode. And real quick, I didn't get to say this because we were all getting on Brandon's identity. We want you to like, comment, and subscribe to the Church Nerd pages. All right? Make sure you follow us on all platforms.
What kind of show this is going to be tonight?
But we have a special we get on our brother. It's all poking, it's all fun. We get on our, and this is a Brotherhood episode, okay? And we have a special guest to talk about this tonight. He is the pastor of Restoration Church of Jesus Christ in Dayton, Ohio. He is an author and he has his own podcast as well. We want everyone to show your love for Pastor Steve Saucer.
Family.
Yeah,
I am in the building. What's going on?
Hey, Saucer. Hey,
yes,
you listen. You're real humble because your brother. Hey, we got a little brotherhood in the building. That's what I'm talking about.
Here with me. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm talking about. But Pastor Saucer, listen, we love your intro. We love the fish tanks in the background. Shows that you're a man of peace. But your brother, Suffragan Bishop R.J. McEwen, he comes in with his Superman theme song every single time.
That sound about right. That sound about like him. That sound about like him. That's what they do.
Him and Brand.
That's what they do north of the border.
North of the border.
Yeah. That's down about right.
Pastor Saucer,
one second, Jay. I just want to be known for the record. Let the breath of the Lord breathe on me is a hymn, and Norman don't know.
Okay. Thanks for letting us know.
Okay.
You about to look it up. Norman's going to fact check.
Look it up. All right, go ahead.
We'll look it up later.
I'm screaming.
Right.
But first of all,
I don't know why hymns. All right, go ahead.
First of all, we got Pastor Saucer here from Restoration Church in Dayton. Your church family's in the chat. They blowing up this chat line right now.
We in the building. We in the building. I love y'all so much. I pastor one of God's favorite churches. I love y'all so much.
I love that.
They are here.
Shout out to Restoration, man.
I love
Shout out
y'all
to y'all.
so much.
Make sure y'all share, tag somebody so they can watch this episode tonight, man. We got a good one. But Pastor Saucer, before we get to our topic, we ask every one of our guests when they hop on, what makes you a church nerd? What makes you a certified church nerd? What you nerdy about?
What am I nerdy about? All right. So tell me, what is a nerd first?
What's
a nerd? I need some perspective. The text don't matter unless it's in context. So, tell me what Tell me what
a nerd is something that you would have got beaten up for in school for liking. So anything from comic books to anime.
That's crazy.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't agree with this definition.
Because I definitely got made fun of growing up for liking superheroes and stuff.
I think what you're saying is anything that's not necessarily acceptable in the mainstream.
Cool.
It's not.
Considered cool.
It's something that makes you unique. That's not, what the popular crew is doing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I would say this stuff right here behind me.
Okay.
It started when I was about 11, 12 years old. We used to, I'm Generation X. I'm a 70s baby. So we actually went outside. And so I'm before, video games and all that kind of stuff. We went outside, and staying inside, that was like a punishment. So we would be outside all the time. But we also the generation that saw Atari and Nintendo come to life, right? So the only time we went in the house was when my friend, close friend, one of my brothers, he had all the toys. You had that one kid in the neighborhood that got all the toys. He had the balls, he had the games, he had everything. So he had a Nintendo, and let me drop this on y'all. He had a game called Tecmo Bowl. Y'all remember that?
Oh yeah.
Tecmo Bowl. So we used to go to his house. We used to go to his house, like if it was raining or something like that, the whole hood would be in his house to play Tecmo Bowl. He had a game down in the basement. The problem for me was in his basement, his grandpa had big fish tanks. And so I had never seen nothing like that before. So I wouldn't even play the game. I would be standing in front of the tanks for hours. And it was just like his grandpa had books about different kind of fish and different kind of ecosystems and what how all of the elements work together. And I used to ask his grandpa, could I borrow his fish books? And I used to read the fish books, and I used to, I wanted to be a marine biologist because of it. And it's something that has stuck with me for my entire life since about 10, 11, 12 years old. And so I'm not myself if I don't have fish tanks. As a kid, my whole basement was full of fish tanks. Fish tanks, terrariums. I had some lizards and different things like that, but this is really my nerd. This is my obsession. This is my addiction right here. Basically, this is crack in water.
Oh my.
Yeah.
What a description that is.
Certified, Jay.
If you ain't saved, this will make you
certified.
Your mama. You will steal from your mama to buy the right kind of fish.
You certified. Pastor Saucer, I don't know. Did you ever meet my late mother?
I did. Yes, sir. I was blessed to have that.
She was a big fish tank person.
Wow.
Growing up in our house, she would go to Petco, PetSmart. She had to get her fish tank in order. I think she had some Pocosimises in there. Some other fish. She was obsessed with it. And if my siblings are in the chat, she'll tell y'all, I'm just gonna say we didn't care nothing about them fish. But every time she would say, go feed my fish, we'd be having a whole fit because we don't care nothing about them fish. But she loved her fish tank.
That's a good lady.
She loved her fish tank though, but y'all definitely would have been talking for hours on different fish tanks and fishes and stuff for sure.
I don't keep Plecosimus because they are aggressive algae eaters.
They are.
And if you notice the back glass of my tanks, I like to let the algae grow naturally. Most people don't like algae in their tanks because they feel like it makes it look dirty. But algae is actually a sign of a healthy ecosystem. If no algae is growing, that means it's either not enough oxygen in the water, so the water's not aerated, it's dead. That means it's not enough nutrients in the water. Algae is a sign of a healthy tank. So I let the back of my glass grow natural all the time in every tank, because actually it's a good food source for fish as well. So like when I travel, I don't have to tell my kids to feed my fish. They can just kind of pick off the algae growth and the different things that are prevalent in the actual tank. That's why I call them ecosystems in a glass box.
Man, I feel like somebody's gonna take that and turn that to a sermon.
They should. I'd appreciate that. Pastor Evans, maybe we'll do a tag team on that.
Tag team right there. Yeah.
You were talking about algae and how it's not what you think it is, and I saw the preacher's eyes light up.
Yes, sir.
I literally came to let the algae grow.
Yes, sir. Now you see why I say that's probably my nerd. That's my nerd thing.
Yeah,
because I could spend the whole podcast talking about that.
You certified.
Yeah, you certified for sure. Now we do have one more question.
Yes, sir.
Marvel or DC?
Who is Black Panther?
That's Marvel.
I'm Marvel. I'm Marvel.
That's
now wait a minute. Are you just Marvel because it's Black Panther?
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Hey,
Brandon,
leave the man alone, man.
Not only is he a
let him
Panther, he's black. He's a Black Panther. I feel like me and him might be cousins.
There it is.
DC got black people too. I'm just saying they got black people too.
Who is that?
DC got black people too.
DC
They got black
They
friends.
got black people too.
Who they got?
They got Green Lantern. They got they got Steel.
We ain't seen him on screen yet.
They got who?
Man. Huh?
Who is the other one?
They got Superman, the Steel one, Superman Steel. He's black guy.
Yeah, he oppressed. I ain't never seen him either. Black Panther is free. I'm gonna go DC.
They got Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific is black.
Yeah, you naming all the people that been colonized. I don't know none of that. I don't know none of that.
Did you see the new Superman movie?
I have not.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry, man. Y'all might kick me off the podcast.
No, you can stay. You can stay based on how you answered this question.
Okay.
Yes.
Batman or Superman?
Oh Jesus, here we go.
Batman or Superman? Man, that's a tough one.
It's not tough.
It's really not.
Let me explain my thinking before I answer the question. Can I do that?
Batman's brother, for real.
Please do.
Let me tell you what I appreciate about Superman. I've always said, get him. I've always said, my son is doing stuff. Can you get him? I've always said, let me tell you my thinking about Superman. I've always said, you are who God made you, even if you're not it yet. So Superman, Kent is actually Superman, even though Superman ain't been needed yet. It's in him. It ain't on him. It's in him. So I appreciate the fact that Kent has capacity that the world don't appreciate.
My Lord, you can just stop there. You don't have to move on.
No, I got to move on, though. I got to move on.
You can stop right there.
I got to tell you my perspective about Batman.
Yes, sir.
Batman is completely outmatched in every scenario.
No, sir.
Except he won't allow himself to be outmatched. So he uses what makes him special to make him unique, even among supernaturals. And so he wasn't born the fastest. He wasn't born the strongest. He wasn't born able to fly. He wasn't born able to do none of this stuff. But none of that stopped him.
Why?
And he put what made him special into practice and was able to rise to the top. And so that's what I appreciate about Batman. And so if I would say Superman or Batman,
I don't like the way Brian's looking right now.
Come on. You almost said this, brother. You almost said.
Here's my answer. I gotta go with Superman.
Oh.
I'm gonna tell you why I gotta go with Superman. I'm gonna tell you why I gotta go with Superman. I'm gonna tell you why I gotta go with Superman. Batman is going around masquerading. He has an abundance of wealth and he ain't willing to share. Superman,
my God.
Superman was born special. Even before he knew it, He was special and he didn't even know.
Batman funded the whole Justice League by himself.
Hey, did he? See, I don't know about
that. The Wayne Foundation funds a whole lot of stuff.
So it sounds like y'all just saying Batman got white privilege.
Yeah, that's
no,
but if I had to choose,
see, because Batman puts on a mask. Batman puts on a mask.
I'm gonna go with Superman.
I'm gonna say Batman.
That's half his opinion, Brad. You ain't got to try to convert him.
You did well.
Let him have it.
I'm just saying, Batman puts on a mask because he doesn't care about his identity being seen. He doesn't mind being in secret and still doing good.
Okay, Batman. Wait. You say I'm sorry. The guy puts on a mask because he doesn't mind being seen. Now, how logical is that?
I said he doesn't want to be seen, Norm.
He doesn't want to be seen.
He doesn't want to. He don't want the credit.
But
he don't want the credit.
He don't want the limelight.
But Kent don't want his name mentioned in the newspaper neither.
That's true. They on the same team, so
I didn't even pay attention to your hat, man. I apologize.
You don't have to apologize. You answered well.
There it is. My pastor brother has given me the check of approval, so I'm all right. So I'm Superman. I'm assuming you Superman too, Pastor Evans.
All day.
So what's y'all's pick? Who is y'all's pick?
Well, Brandon,
Batman,
of course. And then
I mean, some of your saints in the comment line, they was all Batman. So I don't know. You got a divided congregation.
You may have to have a meeting with that.
I see them now. They going off on me. I made them mad today. That's probably what it was. I made them mad today. I didn't even hoop. I just talked there all day. They probably this is their way to get back at me. Yeah, I made them mad today.
Well, I think we're just as equally divided because obviously you have Brandon, who's a Batman fan, and Gabe's a Batman fan.
I got you.
You know, but that's why they're on the bottom because
I can see that too. Yeah,
I mean,
wow,
I can see that too. But
I
love y'all. You know, I love y'all anyway.
For sure. But this is all good because the Bible says how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. So we're just having a good time. Yes, and that's a great segue, to talk about our topic tonight, brotherhood.
But
what's up?
I know you're making the great segue, and you're doing a phenomenal job.
Is one of our brethren here?
One of our brethren just showed up today.
Okay,
is it the maestro?
The man who inspired us all and told us to be on time while he was late.
Yes, and he
the one and only, straight out of Illinois State Council.
Deacon Darnell says Superman.
Good job, Deacon Darnell.
Brother Darrell is in the house.
Hey, chill.
Hey, there go my guy. There go my guy.
I apologize. I was having dinner and Bishop Dawson was talking a lot. And
I'm Bishop Dawson now.
He was in town and telling some
what
stories.
I always say. You know what I always say, right? Blaming other people might make you feel better, but it won't never make you better. I gotta get that to you today.
All right.
He came here.
I lost track of time. No, I lost track of time. It was my fault. I lost track of time.
Yes, sir. You Batman or Superman? You Batman or Superman?
Oh, Superman gonna take it all day.
Oh, well, he good. He can come. He can come in the chat. He can come in.
Oh, listen. Wait.
Oh, you know what? You know what gave you right? Here we go.
That's fine. They underestimated Jesus too, so that's fine. I understand.
Oh, there you go.
Brandon always got a sermon in the back of his pocket. So
that's my
listen,
guy.
Pastor Saucer. This is our brotherhood
sir.
episode, like I said, and you're a big advocate for brotherhood. It seems like a lot of our churches, the brotherhood departments aren't as prevalent or as strong like they used to. So can you explain and talk about the importance of brotherhood and why it's needed in the church, and even just in community, period.
Yeah.
Hey, and also, Pastor Saucer, could you talk about how you developed your love for the brotherhood specifically?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me start there. Let me start on that piece.
Go ahead.
Man, I'm glad I'm here for this subject, because this is my thing. You know, I am unapologetically, I unapologetically prioritize ministering to men. And the reason, or the way that I think that I started to develop a passion for men is because at a certain point in my life, I realized that my answer to my trauma was to be what I always wish I had. And and so when I see men that are unhealthy, that are underdeveloped, that are kind of on the fringes of life, that are just existing, I see myself. And I remember feeling so lost, so rejected, so just in the wind with no direction, that kind of pain has become purposeful for me. So my love for men comes from my own personal rejection and my own personal trauma. And the reason that I think men having fellowship and men being a priority in ministry spaces is important, because I believe if we're going to have a strong society, we have to have strong communities. If we're going to have strong communities, we have to have strong churches. If we're going to have strong churches, we have to have strong families. And if we're going to have strong families, we need strong men. And I think men are the pillar, the foundation that every other pillar of life is built on. And the reason why our communities are so ravaged with neglect and so dysfunctional is because we got a lot. We have released a lot of grown boys on the world, and and some of that is because men are harder to, we done a soul winners expedition at our church. I'm an evangelist to my core. I'll always be evangelistic. And so we done a soul winners expedition at the church. And so what that was is, if you brought a first time visitor, you got a point. And the tally for every week, whoever brought the most first time visitors got $100 gift card. Everybody else was added to the drawing and got a $25 gift card. So we were essentially rewarding people for what they were already supposed to do. But here's the kicker. In our event, in our soul winning expedition, an adult and a child was 1 point. But if you brought an adult man, if you brought a male, an adult man, that was 3 points. So every man was worth 3 points in comparison to every other person worth 1 point. So if you brought one man and somebody brought two people, you know what I'm saying? You win automatically because of that. And the reason that I prioritize that is it's easy to get, and I won't say easy, but hear my heart, what I'm saying. It's relatively easy to get a woman to come to church with you, especially if you're a man. It's easy to get a woman to come to church with you because she gonna generally kind of follow you if there's any kind of interest or you show any kind of interest. You could play games and get a woman to come to church. But if you're winning real men, solid men, like men that are men that have whether they are men that are struggling and persevering through life, or they are men that have any level of discipline, any level of structure and professionalism in their life, you got to really win them. You can't play games and bring men into the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? You got to be open, honest, transparent, passionate. You have to be genuine, sincere. It takes a lot. And I think because it's so difficult to win men and to disciple men, we have overlooked men going for the low-hanging fruit. And I'm not speaking disparagingly about women. I pray nobody feels that way. But the reality is most of our churches are full of women. It's easier to lead women because there's something innate in them that recognizes leadership worth following. But the difference is men are built and created to lead. And so they have to learn the value of following. They have to learn the value of being a student before you try to be the teacher. And so I prioritize men because I remember back in the day, we used to throw parties and stuff, right? And if I'm getting too far off, y'all bring me back in.
Oh, no, go.
Back in the day, so we used to throw parties, and we used to invite, do flyers and all that kind of stuff for women. We never prioritized trying to get men to the party, because if you throwing a party, if you get the women to the party, the men gonna show up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Well, the church is completely different. The church has to be flipped. I believe if your church presents with strong men that are engaged and involved, that are making a difference in the people's lives that they connected to and the people's lives that are around them, I believe if you get the men in the church, the women gonna come. I believe it's natural that women will come. Even in the scripture, the Bible says that Jesus fed on one occasion 4,000 men. On another occasion, he fed 5,000 men. It never even included women and children. But historians say it was probably 10, 15,000 people there when he fed 4,000. 15 to 20 when he fed 5,000. Because you ain't never seen a church service with more men than women. But if you can get the men there, it's even been studies that have proven that if a man practices a faith, and I don't remember the percentages right off the top of my head, but if a man practices a faith, the children are there's an astronomically higher percentage or likelihood that they will practice that faith as well in comparison than if a woman was to practice that faith. If the mama went to church, the mama might just be going to church. But if daddy go to church, that family is going to church. And so that's the reason that I prioritize men, because I believe that if our families are going to be strong, we need whole, healthy, restored men. And I think if our families are strong, our churches will be strong. If our churches are strong, our communities will be strong. But I think it all starts with men. So that's my mandate.
Woo.
Norm,
you're muted, Norm.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
I just said Dre's here, y'all. That was such a good moment. I wasn't.
What's going on, my brother?
Three things.
Oh boy.
Yes, sir.
I want to apologize for my tardiness. It's a lot going on today.
You're not forgiven.
Number two, I love your hat, Brian. Only compliment I'm giving you tonight. Brother Saucer.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Now I know a mob boss when I see one. What's going on?
Watch out. Yes, sir. Don't tell nobody.
What in the Jesus mob boss is going on?
Yeah.
That thing look amazing, man.
This is what got me on the show. Yeah. This is what got me on the show. That's my nerd obsession.
Oh man, I said, oh man, he got the 2 fish tanks. People don't understand how much maintenance that is.
Oh man, well, if you do it right, if you set your ecosystem up correctly, it will maintain itself.
That'll preach.
Yeah, it'll maintain itself. I do have to do regular maintenance, but not nearly as regularly as the average person, because my filtration is I actually overfiltrate. I talked to them about letting my algae grow on the back glass. That eats a lot of the nitrates, which is what most people use water changes to get rid of the nitrate. You know, it's a low level toxic chemical in the water. But the algae eat that up real good. I got a bunch of rocks. I got deep sand base, so a lot of bacteria can grow that actually breaks down the nitrite into nitrate, and then the algae eats the nitrate. So my fish good.
Man. Well, when I get mine, I'll be sure to give you a call.
Give me a call, man. You know, back in the day, I used to have an aquarium maintenance service. It was called Heaven's Clearwater Aquarium Service. You know, when you're leading and you ain't in charge, you got to find stuff to do. You know, I wasn't a master. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and so I started my aquarium maintenance company, man, and it done good for a little while. But this is such my.
That's
I
awesome.
like how y'all put it. This is my nerd obsession, and so when it started feeling like work, I just didn't want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, from now on, I'll call you Aquaman.
Yeah, I like that, man. Hey, man, they asked me who I like, Superman or Batman, and I said Superman. I'm changing my neither. I'm Aquaman. I like that. Dre had to be here.
We'll agree on that. We'll let you have
that. But I think going back to what District Elder Saucer was saying, how do you think that we can change that as a people? Because one of the things you said is sometimes we go after the low-hanging fruit, and maybe because men have always been so elusive to some of our outreaches and things like that. What do you think we could do to change that perspective to say, hey, men are just as equally possible to bring into the faith as a woman or as a young child?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and what did you do at your local church? Because your men's ministry seems to be thriving. You know,
thank God.
I
thank God, man. I appreciate that. So loaded. Both of these are loaded. Let me first say, I don't want to parade around like I've mastered it. I don't want to give the impression that, you know, that I have mastered that. I think what I do that makes me unique when it comes to ministering to men is I care about it. I'm passionate about it. I'm intentional about it. And I don't think enough of us are. I don't think enough of us. I think we allow for things to be the way that they are and just fall back on, well, you know, ain't no men in the church kind of mentality. But that matters to me. That matters to me. But what I would say that we do, and maybe that we need to do much more of, is actually curate opportunities for men to be men in spaces where Christ is celebrated, even if it's not formally celebrated.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think sometimes what we do is we almost demand men to come into spaces that are not man friendly. We want them to kind of assimilate and conform to the pastor. When they don't, we like, well, they don't want to be saved. They don't want to be in church. But you know, the average man don't want to, you know, the average man is not, he might not show up to the game night for the church with the and I'm just off the top of my head. We've got to be intentional about what would men enjoy and develop programming around that. And it doesn't have to be, and this might sound crazy, but I need you to hear my heart.
We're gonna hear you.
It doesn't have to be a Christ-led event, but Christ has to undergird the event. So our event, for example, we done a barbecue, right? We done a barbecue that was just for men and boys. You know what I'm saying? Just for men and boys. It was for us. It was us. And we was barbecuing. We had the basketball rim out. We had different stuff out there, but it was for us to barbecue. Different men could barbecue what they like to barbecue. And we got some competition between who make the best ribs, who make the best wings, and blah, blah, blah. Right. And so that was the leading motivator for that event. However, the undergirding component of that event is we own 40 acres of land across from our church that we are looking to that we're going to develop.
Amen.
Right? Wow. So the undergirding component of that gathering was we gonna do a vision walk and we're gonna walk our land. And so now I get to talk to them about what God put in my spirit, how they are a part of that plan. I got to show them how they fit in it. I got to show them what role they play. And so now I'm talking about them filling a role that is pleasing to God.
Yeah.
I didn't tell them come so we could talk about God.
Yeah.
Circle and be in an AAA meeting.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If we would have set up like that, they probably wouldn't have came because who cares about that? You know, but if we're doing a barbecue competition, you know, they might show up for that. You know, and then during the barbecue competition, and hear me, the barbecue competition might even draw some people that ain't saved.
Right.
Because there were a couple different times where I had to say, hey, we ain't go, let's not cuss on church property. And we go right back into the conversation. Here, this is what I'm saying. We were effective about drawing somebody that ain't churched, ain't a part of the church, and we introduced them to the church in a man-friendly experience.
Good. So District Elder, I want to tackle a quick elephant real quick, if you will allow me.
Yes, sir.
We live in a society that has somewhat crept into the church.
Yeah.
In that to be a man means that I have to be or I guess I should say to promote manhood. That means that I'm somehow sexist, against the feminist movement, and it's kind of crept into the church, right? So if I say brotherhood service, you know, that's somehow we feel the need to have to qualify, but we thank God for the sisters.
Yeah.
Or we say,
don't get canceled, Brian.
And somehow we got to talk about all the sisters that help pave the way for us to have men's ministry service. How do we, in your, experience, how do we get past the thought process that the church is, has to have this kind of feminine sort of, front, and that, anytime we address the church, it has to have this kind of feminine connotation, and get past the idea that just because I say we need men and men need to lead, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm saying that the women need to get put out the back of the church. Like that's not that those don't have to be the same thing. That created that culture in the church.
Man, that's loaded. That's loaded. Let me say this. I think we've got to be intentional about creating our own narratives, and not just accept the narratives that are pushed on us. So, for example, when I talk about prioritizing men and I address women concerning my unapologetic lean in that direction, I make it very clear, because let me say this, because people don't care unless they see how it benefits them. This is a psychological reality. People don't care unless they see how it benefits them. And so when I talk about men to women and I talk about prioritizing men to women, I'm not being sexist in any way. I am a champion for women in ministry, women in leadership. You look at my church, you can tell that. But when I address women concerning my prioritizing men, I do it like this. I make it very clear. Every last woman in our church will benefit from being surrounded by strong, God-fearing men. Every single child in our church will benefit from being surrounded by strong, God-fearing men. God-fearing men make everybody else's life better. God-fearing men make everybody else's life better. So there are benefits you gain from being connected to a strong, balanced, healthy, God-fearing man you don't even got to work for. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
and
sir.
So it's in your best interest, especially if you're a wife or a girlfriend, or let me say it like this, a baby mama. It's in your best interest that you give that man to me. Let me send him home better, because that's going to benefit you in the long run.
That's good.
And so that's the way I address that. I'm not denying, because listen, the sisters, what did Beyonce, the prophet Beyonce, what she say? Crazy. He said something like that, didn't she? I ain't a Beyonce person, but I wanted to acknowledge.
None of us are.
Run the world. Who run the world?
Women run the world or something.
Yes, what she said.
Well, that's in her Bible, and guess what? That might be true. You know, because hey, you let me be honest. I prioritize men. I invest in men. I spend time with men. But if the sisters leave, we ain't got a church no more. We just got a good little fellowship. Right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not diminishing the value that women bring to the church or what they add. And what we would be left with if they weren't with us. I'm not diminishing that at all. The reason I prioritize men is because I believe that they are the void that's left behind. Women in place.
Right.
Women in place, man. Come on. All of us, anybody that has watched the church function over the last however many years since Christ then died and got back up, we will all acknowledge that women are consistently in place.
Yeah.
Well,
it's the men we got to make sure that we, that we let them know that there is a place for them.
Right.
Because most men on the outside don't even see a place for them. They don't see themselves in the church. And so if we don't create a space for them. And then here's the ugly part, and I'm gonna say this to my brothers. Here's the ugly part. Sister Ebony from Detroit, she said, "Prophet Beyonce is crazy." It is crazy. Ain't it? Pray for me, daughter. I might have made her mad today because I was talking about.
Ebony got on the shiesty man.
Some of my band went to Detroit. They had a concert, and I called Detroit the Little D. Because I'm from Dayton. I love all y'all too. While Norm got the Detroit hat on, I didn't mess up the show.
Get him out of here,
I didn't mess up. I don't even remember what I was saying.
This has been a great episode of the Church Nerds. We thank you all for
Hey, Deacon Heath.
I think District Elder Saucer makes a phenomenal point.
Okay.
You make a phenomenal point, man, because like even earlier when you were talking about the statistics, I feel like that men are the answer to even the drought when it comes to young people being in church. Currently that they say that's happening. Like according to statistics, it says that if a man is also going to church with his family, then the kids are 73% more likely to be regular attenders of that ministry as well. Like 73% more likely.
I didn't remember the numbers right off the top, but
that's crazy.
I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious that men are the answer to questions we ain't even asked yet.
Yes,
sir. Well,
because if a mama go to church, that does not mean that her family going to church. Right. How many men do you know sit back and let their wife go to church, and the kids want to stay home and watch football with the daddy? But if the daddy go to church, that family going to church. It ain't a whole lot of wives and children staying behind. So the answer is the men.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. That's what I believe. I believe the answer is the men.
It started with the men.
We got an amen club in the church nerds.
Well, Pastor Saucer, I was just going to say, just like you said, men are the answer to all that, not just in the church, just society, period.
Yeah,
a lot of times. Now, I'm not saying that like we said, we love the women. Women have their place and everything, but I remember in high school, when I was teaching in high school, a lot of these young teenagers, they don't have positive father figure, big brothers in their life, and a lot of them were drawn to me because I'm a man of God, and I told them, gave them positivity. They said it was like Coach Jay, can you pray for me? Can you? I'm serious. They said, can you pray for me? Can you take me home? I'm dealing with this situation at home. It's real heartbreaking when you have men that don't want to be men, be providers, protectors for their family. So I want to ask you this question: what kind of tools can you give men to be exactly what God created us to be, which is protectors, providers, etc. You know,
man, that's heavy. And while you were talking, it was like you were talking my next podcast episode. My next podcast episode, the title is Chasing Substitutes. Chasing, or was it Creating? Let me see. My last podcast episode.
Y'all, we so black.
Yeah, Chasing Substitutes. Basically,
all black people do that when they agree with.
Yeah, basically attempting to fill the void with counterfeits.
Wow.
And if there is not a Jay or a Norman or a Pastor Evans or a Gabe or a Dre or a Brandon or a Darrell in sight, maybe that substitute that they'll choose is weed, alcohol, toxic relationship, or vice. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they'll gravitate to a spirit like depression, or a spirit like rebellion, or a spirit like rejection. You know, which was one of those things that I developed a very close relationship with. And so that's the danger of the plague of fatherlessness, is that it has left so many voids in so many hearts that men, not just boys, but men are chasing substitutes. Because think about it, the vast majority of all of us, if we would be honest, most of what we struggle with today comes from something that happened to us when we was a kid.
Yeah,
I was 40 years old writing my book, man. I was 40 years old. I was a whole pastor, a whole husband. I had 4 kids. I was 40 years old, man, writing my book on fatherlessness. And it took me so long because I can't even count how many times I literally had to stop and push the notepad away because I was in full tears as a 40-year-old crying about stuff that happened to me when I was a little boy. And so just because you have moved on from your past don't mean your past moved on from you. And so we allow trauma to become our companion when we don't confront it. And so I hate to do this, but I got to throw out a couple shameless plugs. That was the purpose of my podcast.
Go ahead.
And I just started the podcast, The Road to Restoration. So where we journey from trauma to triumph. And I just started my podcast. Monday is episode 6 is dropping, so this is only the 6th episode. I drop every Monday at 6. But the reason why it took me so long to do this podcast, if I can be open and honest and transparent with y'all,
go ahead.
Y'all, my brother. Because some of these conversations don't feel good. And some of these conversations that I'm having is unearthing things that I thought I was healed from. Just because you don't talk about it, and just because you trained yourself not to think about it, don't mean you healed from it. And you will know when you heal when you start having the conversation. And I start uncovering some emotions, man. I'm telling you, man, when I begin to have these conversations, and that's why people was asking me, who you gonna have on the podcast, who you gonna have as a guest, and I feel the Lord wouldn't allow me for however long. I don't know how long, but I know he has not released me as of now to have any other voice on the podcast. And the reason is because I don't want it to be commercialized. I want it to be raw, transparent, substantive conversation that challenges and confronts the trauma of fatherlessness, but leaves us with solutions on how to recover from it. So one thing, if not the Road to Restoration podcast, you have to find an outlet that's speaking valuable substance into your spirit. Because not everybody that's opening their mouth and talking is saying something that will add to your life. And I'm telling you, man, some of these people in these podcasts, man, they need to shut down the whole internet. Man, I don't understand. But the reality is, unfortunately, poison tastes better than what's healthy for you. And let me make that make sense.
Sugar.
Yeah,
sugar is proven to be your brain responds the same way to sugar that it does to cocaine. Only sugar is extremely more addictive than cocaine is. But sugar tastes good.
Tastes good.
You rather drink a pop. Come on, somebody. The hypocrite in me.
Where's your Jesus juice? Where's your Jesus juice?
Where's the Jesus juice?
I drunk it all. I just got done recording the episode.
Come on, Aquaman. Where the water at?
Where the water?
We need some water. I need to clean my soul. And so, yeah, man. So you got to find a voice that can speak life into you. Can I show my book? Can I talk about my book?
Absolutely.
And the reason why I'm talking about my book, I talked about it in this last episode.
I got it. I got one of the first copies.
Man, that's what's my brother. See, that's why I picked Superman.
Have somebody put the link on
the None of y'all Batman people got my book, but I'm gonna make sure y'all get it.
It's a good book, y'all. He don't even have it. I read it cover to cover.
Wow.
It's a great read.
All right, we be saving the city.
Facebook, Facebook. If you can, put the link to his book.
Put the link
in the comment section.
Put the link
thank
to his
y'all,
book in the
man.
comments.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I know that I'm doing a shameless plug, but it's bigger than just my book, because the point is you need to find resources that are speaking specifically about your trauma. I remember before I became a senior pastor and I was an assistant pastor, I would get all kind of books on leadership, all kind of books on pastoral leadership, all kind of books on how to lead a congregation. But I had to discern how that applies to me, because although I was a leader, I wasn't the leader. I was leading, but I wasn't in charge. And I got somebody introduced me to a book. Now I'm gonna give them a shameless plug. It's called Leading from the Second Chair. And that book changed my life, because it changed my perspective. Because what was unique about that book is it spoke specifically to where I was. So I didn't have to assume what perspective to absorb the content. I was sitting in the seat that they were describing. And so men who are trying to overcome trauma and trying to overcome the challenges and the obstacles that life presents, they have to find tools that speak directly to men. You know what I'm saying? Not an ambiguous message, but a message that's designed specifically to you. And so those tools, and I'd like to believe that my podcast as well as my book, I like to believe that those are two tools that will add value to men's lives. And I don't know if I answered your question. I apologize. Let me know if I didn't.
Brother Saucer, just to piggyback off of you, man. Let's make reading great again. A male book club. I
like that idea.
That's a great, because
I like that idea.
It's so fundamental, spiritually and naturally. It helps. It is helping.
I think somebody ought to use his book as a for a small
as an icebreaker.
Hey, I like that. Y'all let me know, man. I want to be a part of it.
I definitely pick it up. I'm gonna pick it up tonight, actually.
Let me say this.
Links in the chat, y'all.
Here's the crazy thing. Let me say this, y'all. Here's the crazy thing. Reading is not considered manly. This is a perfect teachable moment of the discussion we've been having. Oftentimes the things that add value to us are pushed on us like it's not for us. When I was a kid, man, I wasn't a good student. I didn't like reading. Couldn't barely read. I was a bad student, but that was because I was a little bad kid. And no, I had so many things distracting me in my life, in my reality, that I didn't care about learning. I didn't go to class to be a student. You know what I'm saying? But I found out later on in life that I didn't struggle reading because I wasn't smart. I didn't struggle with my grades because it wasn't smart. It wasn't important to me. And the reason that it wasn't important to me is because I was out here chasing substitutes and trying to fill voids. And guess what? We become addicted to approval. And whatever the crowd think is cool, that's what's cool. So it's cool to skip. And it's cool to, you know what I'm saying? It's cool to not go to class. It's cool to not care about books. It's cool to say something crazy to the teacher if she asks you to read. It's not cool to care about reading. So I was sucked into a life that wasn't me. I'm a whole author, man. My book a bestseller. Like I love reading now. But my childhood, my all that I could have read all of these years was that opportunity was taken from me, and it wasn't taken from me by nobody else. I took it from myself because I let other people's opinion of me matter more than what was right for me. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I father, and that's why fathers matter, because we help kids to identify what's right for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, my church is not a real churchy church. I'm the founder, and I'm not saying that like anything because I'm, you know, I feel like I'm churchy. But my church, most of the people that come to my church have never been members of another church. They've never had another pastor. You know what I'm saying? And so in some ways that's amazing, because you know, you would think you can just pour directly into them what they need, but at the same time it's a little challenging because they don't come from another church environment, but they do come from a different environment. You know what I'm saying? So because my church is not necessarily an overly traditional church, you know, I have to promote men wearing suits. But I can't say, hey, everybody wear a suit because that's what we do here. It got to make sense. So I believe that the church is more to the community, depending on the church, because not every church is the same. Churches are like people, and every person has a different personality. But I believe, like my church specifically, we are not just a place for spiritual enrichment. I want our little boys to know what it looked like to wear a suit and not have to find that out in court. You know what I'm saying? I want our young boys and our young girls to know what a husband look like what a successful man looks like. So I push it to the men. I tell them, like, you ain't doing this for you. You don't even realize who all connected to you. You don't know who watching you. There's a little boy in our congregation that can't wait to see you, Deacon, because he look up to you even though he's never said it. And if you don't come in here and you ain't on post and you ain't looking like what he need, you're gonna duplicate what you are. And so, you know, that's a conversation that I have with men, you know. So I don't force men to wear suits. I don't force men to be overly traditional, but I do promote, you know, being at least being diverse, you know, understand that, you know, they can see a man in jogging pants and a t-shirt anywhere.
And District Elder, I think too, because my question was right aligned with what you were just talking about. My question was going to be, how do you challenge a man without hurting a man? And how what's your perspective on that? Because I think sometimes we get in church and we're so dogmatic to the point where we don't know where this man came from, what he's been through, but because he may not fit the line or the mold that we're trying to mold him in, how do I build him? How do I challenge him? It's more important for me to challenge him and not hurt him in the challenge, but challenge him to help him.
Let it be Father's Day.
That's powerful.
It's a
wrap. Oh my God, Father's Day, boy, that's the day, ain't it? Oh, y'all going to hell. You're horrible. That's a powerful, man. That's powerful what you're saying. I would say this, that first of all, especially with men, you cannot correct and challenge a man that you have not at least attempted to develop relationship with.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
because what it looks like, you look like a bully. And any man that has any kind of, you know, awareness of himself is not going to respond well to being bullied. You know what I'm saying? And then what you're gonna do, you're not only making it hard to win him, you making it hard to keep his family. Because if he feel like you a bully, he not gonna let his wife submit to that. He not gonna let his children sit under that. So you will lose whole families if you don't handle men right. So I would say the first thing is you got to be patient. So true. Because it's just like boys and girls. Girls mature faster than little boys. It's just a reality. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's tell the truth. Boys, you know, they take their time. And so in church, and I know I got some of my brothers, Deacon Darcell is on here. Deacon Darnell is on here. I didn't seen some of them on here. And so I'm talking about y'all like a dog behind your back. But I would say this. Sometimes you got to be patient with men because you got to let them see why they are important in the grand scheme of the ministry before you can really challenge them to step up in any substantive way. Because if they don't see themselves, if they show up, they showing up just to show up. But before you can really challenge them, they got to know you care about them. Like they got to know that they genuinely matter to you, you know? And sometimes that requires something out of pastors that some pastors not willing to give. Sometimes that require breakfast at the Waffle House. You know, sometimes that require, like, I don't like my Deacon Darcell that's on here. That's my barber, the baddest barber in the whole wide world. But I don't demand him to come cut me at my house. You know, like come cut me. I don't want to be in that environment. Like I go to the barbershop and I my son intentionally because I don't want to ever make men feel like that I'm somehow not one of them. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want to get so high or so separated from them that I can't relate to them and they can't relate to me. With men, you really got to be a servant leader. With men, you really got to be. You can't, you know, you can't be disconnected.
Well, Pastor, I think the main word that that you pretty much said is men don't like to be disrespected. So if you come off disrespectful to a man is going to shut off right away. First of all, you're not going to disrespect me. That's the first thing. And then, so if this is how y'all are here at the church, if you just, I don't know what you're doing to the other brother. If they allow that, then it's cool. But me, that's maybe somebody that's from the streets that don't deal with disrespect and loyalty and stuff to the core, then they not coming.
And I'm gonna add to that. They ain't even got to be from the streets. All they got to be is a man.
Exactly.
Because ain't no man
to put a poke in the back.
Disrespected.
Because they think you're coming to the church and all of a sudden you're just supposed to start accepting disrespect. That's
right. No, that's not
crazy work.
And you can be disrespectful to a boy, you can be disrespectful to a child, but if you do, realize something. When they become a man and they are under their own rule and they are governing their own decisions, you have lost them. And sometimes when it comes to men, if you lose a man, you lost them.
You lost them,
You lost them. You know what I'm saying? So I hope I answered your question.
Oh, Pastor, you definitely have.
I could talk about fish tanks and men's ministry forever. So y'all
This has been, I think, to me, a very profound conversation for sure.
Oh,
I mean, like, even going back to something you had said that having a responsibility of being a godly man for those in your church who are not or may not have that. Like growing up for me, I had to rely on the deacons to show me the way, and thank God they were there.
Right.
Because again, my household mostly was my mother and it was me and my sister.
Yeah.
And that was it. So having those godly examples to show me, okay, this is how you tie a tie. This is how you do it right. This is how you shave whatever. This is how you do those type of things.
Right.
It got me to where I am today. Because Lord knows if they weren't there and my mother just brought me to church, eventually when I turned 18, well,
I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm gone. There's nothing. There's no example here for me to stay here. Why should I be here?
I think the challenge is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, pick on what Norm said. My father always told the the single women in the church that have sons, let these deacons and the other get y'all boys, because some of y'all baby them way too much. You know, only a man can teach a boy how to be a man. You know, and it's hurtful because, like you said, if there's not a strong male figure in the family, then it's gonna go left field. That's why you see a lot of these young teenage 16, 14-year-old boys in the street out late at night to who knows what, because there's no strong male figure to tell them that you need to get your butt home. You know, so what Norman's saying, you gotta piggyback off of somebody, you know, that can be a positive, strong figure in your life. And what was you about to say, Pastor Saucer?
I got some controversial thoughts on that a little bit.
Okay.
Let's hear
First, I would say, like what you mentioned, Norm, I think the challenge is creating a culture where men not just do it like, you know, yeah, I'll do it if you need me to, or I'll show you if you need me to, or creating a culture where they realize that that's their role. Like you're there to father that congregation. You're there as a mentor. You're there as a father figure. You're there to, you know, to be a protector of not just your immediate family, but to everybody that's connected to you. When the men as a unit embrace that mentality, then it'll be so much easier on the pastor. It'll be so much easier on these mothers, because we will be proactive about developing relationships with the young boys, and proactive about pulling them in and teaching those life lessons. You want it to be proactive and not passive, but that requires culture, and culture requires consistency. And you know, you got to really create an environment where that becomes like the instinctive thing.
That's so good.
And then when culture is created for that, I think you don't have to then train every man that come in. We naturally as humans assimilate to the prevailing culture. And so if your culture, the culture of your church is that men are proactive, men lead, men are involved, men are engaged, when men come in, they'll automatically gravitate in that direction. And those that lean off on the fringes, those are usually the ones that have the more the most trauma or the most questions about church and God, period. And so then you got to be proactive about reaching out to get them. But that was my response to Norm. Now I'm gonna get real controversial. Can I?
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm in a room full of my brothers.
It's just us.
Let me say something real. I had to take a sip of this juice. It ain't Jesus juice, but it's juice.
It's that sugar crack you were talking about.
Yeah. So let me pause and put a quarter in the meter, because I think we're gonna be here for a little while.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask a question. Well, let me make a statement.
Okay.
Most of the solid, sound, integral men that I know, most of them was raised in a single family household. Most of the men that I know that's solid fathers, that care about being a provider, that are protectors and guardians, that won't settle for a bully, you know, taking advantage of the weak and the vulnerable. Most of the men that I know like that, they were raised in single family homes, raised by their mama. Most men, or some men, especially in a church setting, argue about women in leadership, women as preachers, women as pastors. Most of them argue about whether or not a woman can teach them, but they are ignoring the reality that most all humans, their first teacher was a woman. I got a chapter in my book, The Fatherless Son, the story of rejection and redemption. I got a chapter in my book entitled My Mama Was Superwoman. Here's my controversial thought.
See, you had a bias towards Superman already.
Yeah, here's my controversial thought. I believe women can raise boys to be men. However, I don't think it's possible without the boy being traumatized along the way. But I think she can get him there. I think she can get him there. And the trauma is not necessarily because of her. The trauma is outside of her control. Because no matter how good of a mama, no matter how good of a parent, no matter how good of a provider, that child will always yearn for the void in their heart for their father. I believe fathers are the physical manifestation on earth of what our heavenly Father is in the spirit. I don't believe nobody could ever fill the void that's meant for God. And I don't believe that anybody could ever fill the void that's meant for a father other than a father. That's why I thank God that he understood this. And he said, by way of, I believe it was Paul that said, there are tens of thousands of teachers, but not many fathers. And so some people teach you can only have one father. You can only have one spiritual father. You can only, no. The Bible says not many fathers. So there are not many men who are fatherly. There are not many men in comparison to the males in the world. There are not many that are willing to father a child or even father a man, you know, because how many of us are still being fathered by somebody in our life to this day? I'd be the first one to raise my hand. You know what I'm saying? I believe a woman can raise a boy to be a man. I just don't think she can do it. I just don't think he'll reach manhood without being traumatized along the way. But I don't think that's her fault. I don't think the trauma, she can do an excellent job. Many of us got great mamas. I mean, excellent mamas, loved on us, got us everything within their power. They provided for us. They gave us shelter. They loved on us, threw us birthday parties, tried to put us in sports, tried to show up for this and show up for that. They was excellent mamas. But there were vices and circumstances, people, places, and things outside of her that we use to try to fill the void she couldn't fill. So I think she can raise us to be from boys to become a man. I just don't think she can do it. I just don't think we will reach manhood without being traumatized.
I'm about to pull a saucer.
Okay.
I'm about to pull a saucer.
Okay.
I need your definition of raise.
Okay. That's heavy. You did pull a saucer. That's my hey. I'm gonna give you some sauce on that because that's my way right there. I ain't never been interviewed by me. I like
that. because let me, why are you thinking about that? I feel you. I hear you. I share that same plight. I was raised in a single family household. Okay. My mom did all she could to raise us.
Right.
But I don't know I would be half the man I am today if it was just her.
Yeah.
I had the influence of several men, both in the church, my grandfather,
thank God,
various places I went. Thank God that those men were there to influence who I am today.
Yeah.
Because when I think about being a man, I attribute what I know about manhood to them, not to her. Now, when I think about the parts of me that are grind it out, you know, stick to it, strong will, push through the struggle, everything is going to be like you want it to be, and you're going to have to get over some stuff, and you can't cry over spilled milk. That's all mama.
Right.
So that's why I say, that's why I ask you when we talk about what it means to be raised, like when I just think about just work ethic and strength and perseverance and you know, take care of your woman, and you know, those types of things aren't things that I don't know my mother could have taught me. And
is there a difference
had I not had those men in my life, I don't know that I would have had developed those. I'm sorry, Gabe. What were you saying?
No, that was good. I just asked the question. Is there a difference between influence and being raised?
I don't know. That we're gonna ask Saucer.
I think he
No, because I feel what you were saying, Brian, and that's fire. Like, that's real stuff. I think the difference is when you are being raised in a household. Like, there's a when you see what the man is doing behind closed doors, like in a 2-parent household, I feel like that raises the bar to a whole different level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let me respond. Hey man, hey Pastor, man, that was you pulled a saucer. Yeah, I like that. Let me answer. I'm gonna answer two ways. Let me say this first. You said, let me ask you this. What is a man? And don't nobody answer. Just think about it. What is a man that don't persevere? What is a man that don't have a grinded out mentality? What is a man that does not understand it ain't gonna always go the way you want it to go? It ain't gonna always look like you want it to look. It ain't gonna always be comfortable, but you got to get it done anyway. What is a man that don't have those qualities? I don't think those are feminine qualities.
I'm sorry.
You just said, I don't want you to answer. You about to answer.
I'm gonna mute my mic. Go for
it. You said a bunch of stuff you learned from your mama. You said that was all mama,
but that couldn't be it.
No, I couldn't be. I'm about to go on. This was the beginning.
All right, go ahead. Finish. I'm mute my mic.
I believe everything that you acknowledged came from your mama. I believe those ingredients work together to make you the man you are today. I believe you would be less of a man if you didn't have those things.
I don't disagree.
All right.
I also would not be complete as a man without the things that she could not teach me.
Let's answer this together, because I like that. I like that.
Not be complete.
I like that.
And so I said, because there are things that she just couldn't. There were things that I was going to go through in life as a man.
Yeah.
From a physiological standpoint. Yeah. That she was never going to understand.
Yeah.
Never going to be able to coach me through.
And she wasn't going to have the instincts to know how to coach.
Never going to be able to do that.
I'm 100%.
I would, to your point, District Elder, I would have then went through life finding those answers to some of those questions with substitutes.
You did. You just happened to have some good ones. You just happened to have some
substitutes, right?
Yeah. But there's many of us that didn't have good substitutes.
Yeah.
So
I chose some wrong ones too, District Elder. I don't want to make a picture on Zuckerberg's internet. I chose some wrong ones. That freshman year of college was wild.
I got you.
Like there was some things.
What happened in that freshman year of college, Brian?
Lord.
Why was it wild, sir?
Yeah, that's for post lobby. That's for post lobby.
Yeah, we gonna say that one for off.
That's for our Patreon.
That's for the Patreon when we get to Patreon. That's for the Patreon.
Yeah.
I'll just say,
if you see clear, that's coming back.
Lower hair. I'm saying lower hair. Brian was the one that was in sin. As he got more anointed, his hair grew.
Well, I got some hair. Praise the
Lord. Yes, sir.
Hey, Norm, this is the Brian with waves.
Brian with waves. He was the pretty boy, that was the one. Lord, that was the one.
I got a question, I guess. And I know you like, because again, I grew up for the first 13 of my years of my life. I was a single family household, just my mom. She got married when I was 13, and that changed. But do you think our mothers have to teach, or first off, our mothers learn to do, the perseverance and that push and things because there are fathers who are not there, that they have to pick up those traits that should not be on them in the first place?
I think, let me say this first. Because, man, y'all asked some crazy questions, man. I love this. I got to come back, man. One point enough.
We're going to bring you back.
I like this, man. I like this. I would say first, it's not lost on me that I did not fully answer the difference between being raised and influenced.
Sure.
So that's not lost on me.
Yes,
but to speak to what you said, bro, Daryl, I think it's important to remember. Well, let me answer them together. I think I can answer these together. I think it's important to remember that our mother raising us does not mean that she doesn't utilize other influences as a part of our training and development. You know what I'm saying? Her raising us, and first of all, let's not minimize women, because women do not persevere just because a man ain't there. Women just persevere.
Right.
You know, I don't know what kind of perseverance they got to have to push a baby out, but I'm sure they got to have some kind of stick-to-itiveness to accomplish that. So women, most of the women in our lives, man, are super women, and we just don't realize it. We don't acknowledge it, all that they do. And I'm unapologetically a man's man, but at the same time, I think my mama, she left such a fingerprint on me that I don't know how to not honor and acknowledge the contribution that women add to the world. So maybe that's why my view is so controversial when it comes to this. You know what I'm saying? Because the most meaningful influences that I had for the vast majority of my entire life were strong women. You know what I'm saying? And so let's big them up if we could.
Shout out to all the women in our lives, our wives, our mothers, sisters, whoever. Shout out to you all. Man. We love y'all.
Our
daughter, everybody. And sister Lady Buford already said in the chat, we will never know. And Lady Buford, I don't want to know.
Don't want to know. Keep that secret. I don't even want a class on it.
All yours.
I don't even want a class on it. As a matter of fact, I'm not even watching that podcast episode. I don't want
to know. You know what's crazy?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Brother Sauce.
I was just gonna end it by saying I think that raising a child is best seen in your consistency, your presence, and your willingness to think outside of the box, knowing that you have limitations. So a mama that says, hey, can you take my son to the barber shop? She ain't pushing off her responsibility. She's exposing you to manhood. A mama that say, you going with your uncle this weekend. She's not pushing you off because she is intentional. She's raising you. She's using the tools that she has available to her to add value in ways she can't add herself. You know what I'm saying? Because if we didn't have, so my son, he is me. He me all the way. He me all the way instinctively. He came out and I was like, there I go. Right. And he wild. Right. And when he was first starting to try to stand up and pee, he wasn't, it took him a little while to master it. Let me say that, so the bathrooms had to be cleaned a little more regularly than necessary. You know what I'm saying? And
thanks for giving me my future, Unc. Thanks for
it's on the way, bro.
His mama,
I'm in the thick of it right now, so we trying.
His mama wanted him to sit down because it preserved the bathroom and his clothes. Mama wanted him to sit down. In her mind, there was nothing adverse about what she was saying. What she was saying made sense to her. But his daddy said, no, that boy gonna stand up. Hold on, can you fix this? That boy, hold on, because he doing stuff. I'm talking about him and he doing it. He doing stuff as we speak. So his daddy says, you gonna stand up because at some point you're gonna be in a public bathroom, and I don't want you, you know what I'm saying, going into no public bathroom and dropping your drawers. You know how kids do. Drop the drawers completely, full butt out, just in a public bathroom, cheeks just out. I don't want that because I don't trust everybody in the bathroom.
Amen.
So instinctively, I'm not thinking about the mess he making in the bathroom right now. I'm thinking about how he has to carry himself in the world later. And so as a man, I'm triggered in a different way than she is for him to learn certain lessons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember I put him in sports the first time he was in sports, and it was a basketball thing. The very first time he was in sports, and Junie, like me, he want to be everybody's friend. He ain't trying to have no problems. You know what I'm saying? He want to be friends. He want to have fun. And so they got balls, and every kid supposed to have their own ball. You know, at that age, every kid supposed to have their own ball. But Junie want to have fun, and he having fun. It's this one little bad kid. He was me that didn't have me. That's a bad kid, if that makes sense.
Yep.
He is me, but he got me.
Yeah.
This little boy was me, but he didn't have me. So he was doing stuff. He was running around taking the other kids' balls. Junie thought it was a game, so when he came around, he took Junie ball. Junie gave him the ball, and then he had to wait and find another ball. And then the boy came around, took the ball. Second time he took the ball. Now, mind you, the gym was full of women because it's women.
Yep.
Right.
Gym full of women. Now, none of these women saw nothing wrong with this. The second time he took Junie ball, I walked over to Junie. I said, "Don't let him take nothing else from you." I said, "Don't give him." Don't give him the ball. He's not playing with you. You see what I'm saying? I said, Junie, he's not your friend. He's not playing with you.
Yep.
Now, say what you want to say about me. That might sound a little aggressive. That might sound a little like toxic masculinity. But I'm teaching him that the world ain't gonna be nice to you just because
Amen.
Right.
I'm teaching him that there's a way a man stand up for himself without being, without being a bully, without being nothing adverse. But you better be a man. You better not let nobody just take from you. You see what I'm saying? The world ain't nice to you because you nice. The world is nice to you and respects you because you're respectable. And any man that won't stand up for himself won't be respected. Nope. I ain't saying go out here and be crazy. Now, this little boy was running around taking everybody's ball, but you not taking Junie's ball no more.
You better not.
And hear me, and this is the biggest lesson. I'm not gonna stop him from taking the ball from you. You gotta stop him.
Yep. That's good.
That's the way. That's a man's perspective. A mama gonna come over there like, hey, that's his ball. Give him his ball. Y'all gotta play together. No, a daddy gonna go over there when you across the room and say, don't give him nothing else.
Yep.
That boy ain't your friend. Don't let him have your ball. And when he came back, guess what Junie didn't do? He didn't let him have the ball. When he got to coming over there, first thing Junie did was looked over to daddy, and daddy sat back and said,
Stand on business. Stand on business.
Yeah.
So, that was that my boss laid back.
You see that?
And
You see that?
Just to piggyback off your brother Saucer.
Yes, sir.
So any Gen Z in the chat, that's my ball. That's not your ball. Secondly, Timothy came from a household of just women.
Wow, amen. That's a real strong. That's a fact.
They raised him to be a very elegant man in the spirit.
That's a fact.
Also, I think going back to raising and influencing, which I was talking about.
Your point, Dre. That was impressive.
That was impressive. Hey man, that man might.
We all read that, so we appreciate it when it does.
Yeah,
that might be.
You don't see his last couple of videos. He said a word.
He getting real spiritual.
Yes, he did.
That's the deacon sign right there.
Hey, he done had a daughter and found Jesus. I'm just
look.
Don't let Brian take your ball again, Andre.
Yes, sir.
No, but Pastor, go ahead, Dre.
No. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave what I was gonna say for part two because
for part two,
we gonna bring
because Saucer gotta come back.
Yeah,
we do, man. We gotta do it, man. I'm loving
definitely
this,
gotta
man.
bring you back.
I'm loving this.
Definitely gotta bring you back. And right before we get out of here, I just want to say, one of those lessons, like you said. Most of y'all saw my son's haircut at the convention. Everyone said how good it was. It was his first haircut taken to the barbershop. And obviously, as a father, taking your son to the barbershop is like a rite of passage. It's exciting. My wife, I love my wife. She can't take him crying too much and everything, but she wanted to come. I was like, no, you're not coming. Because as soon as that clipper hits his head, he gonna start bawling his eyes out. And you gonna want to caught it. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Even though he's 2 going on 3, I'm trying to instill in him that there's gonna be things that you don't want to do that you don't like that you have to do anyway.
Yeah.
But you have, even though if it's just a haircut, but it's the lesson, it's the principle that's there. You gotta do things that you don't want to do. So
you ain't trying to teach him, you teaching him, man.
Yes, sir, you are.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor Saucer. We want to thank you for hopping on the Church Nerds tonight, and we want to thank everybody in the chat. Man, Restoration Church was in here heavy tonight.
Thank y'all for having me, man.
Man, if y'all haven't gotten his book, go get his book. It's in the link is in the chat. Fatherless Son. It is in the book, and we got to check out. Make sure you subscribe to his podcast.
Please do.
Well.
Y'all become a journey partner. For $7, you can become a journey partner. With being a journey partner, with every episode, you get a journal worksheet that has the main talking points, the solution point, and then some personal questions for you to be reflective about what you can do to make sure that you overcome this. So we're not just, on that podcast talking about problems. We actually moving towards solutions. You get 10% off all merch. That includes the book, and so it's some value in being a journey partner. So jump on my Patreon and be a part of this. This community, man. I think it's gonna do something beneficial, not just for men, not just for boys. It's for anybody who has experienced the trauma of fatherlessness and who's still looking to be restored and whole and healthy and go from trauma to triumph. So come on, man. Come on over there and holler at me.
That ain't no podcast. That's a heel cast.
Man, there it is, man.
Thank you. Andre been hitting tonight. If y'all he in the
spirit, man. He in the spirit.
Y'all stay when I talk less. I'm a little more powerful.
Before we get out of here, Norm, what's the video we got tonight before we get on out of here?
This has just been a phenomenal show. It has really, and I was going through the internet and I was trying to find something that's going to be super amazing. And we talk about the influence that fathers can have over sons. And sometimes we try to teach our sons that you really shouldn't drink and drive.
Please tell me why you stopping me?
Yeah, I'm about to.
Huh?
I'm about to.
What?
I'm about to tell you.
Stop sign?
No, I said
What stop sign, man?
I said I'm about to tell you.
Huh? You say stop sign?
No one said stop sign by you.
Why you stopping me?
You made an improper right-hand turn. When you turn onto a new road, you got to turn that closest lane, sir.
Let me get my ID out for your partner.
Can you hand me the beer as well?
Huh?
Can you hand me the beer?
Who?
The beer? Can you hand me the beer?
There's no beer in there.
I can see it. Right?
Hey, hold it. Don't be searching my car. What's going on here?
We got to open the container in the car.
Wow.
Mr. Robinson, I'm over here.
Huh?
How much you have to drink tonight?
Sir?
How much did you drink tonight?
Who?
How much did you drink tonight?
I don't really drink.
That was the beer you were just trying to grab out of my hand.
I ain't finna lie to you, I don't drink. Why is y'all making me do this?
Put your hands behind your back.
For what?
Because you're under the influence and operating a motor vehicle.
Sir, can I take my car home? You arrested me?
Yes, you're under arrest.
Still, man. For what?
DUI.
DUI?
Yes.
Hey,
ain't no way that wasn't Samuel Jackson.
No, I thought that was Bishop Dawson at first.
I'm telling it.
No, don't do that.
I'm telling it. They talking about the
Man.
Wow.
Hey.
Hey, he gonna call you as soon as he hear about this.
I can't believe you said that, Brandon.
Brandon.
Hey, he's still up here. He's still in Illinois, so you be careful.
I know.
Man.
I love Bishop Dawson. I love him.
He Batman tonight. He ain't Bible Man tonight.
He said, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even drink.
Y'all keep forgetting.
Right. Drunk was stuck, but I ain't gonna lie to you.
I don't even drink.
I don't even drink.
You said what?
Y'all, Brandon is unhinged, y'all.
Listen, this has been another episode of the Church Nerds. Once again, I'm your host, Jay Ball. We got Norman Heath, Pastor B, Darrell Walls, Gabe Jordan, Brandon Travis, Dre Buford, and our very special guest, Pastor Steve Saucer from Dayton, Ohio. We will see you next time on another episode.
Go Blue.
Later.
Don't miss
So
it.
Another special guest.